or good or bad luck, but to be in the program and be with it during COVID. So we have a lot of experience, and we'll talk about that too. So with your permission, first of all, the short presentation, then we'll turn it over to Josina, and then Q&A as long as you want, okay? Excellent. So allow me to share my screen with you. Can you all see the screen being shared? Yeah? You know what? I'll stop the share and I'll just max it out just to make sure that I'm in a full screen mode. Wait a second. No, it doesn't work so well. Allow me to try again. Please let me know if you can see everything. Okay? Yeah? And now you can see it on your full screen, right? Excellent. So, guys, you heard a lot about the Hebrew University. You heard a lot about Jerusalem. I want to save as much time as possible for your questions. I will just say this. I grew up in Jerusalem. I travel the world. Jerusalem is a city like no other. Okay, I'm not saying it's better than other cities. I think it's kind of silly to try and rank cities, but it offers an experience like no other. It has the old city, it has the modern city, and also Israel is very, very small. So just so you know, Jerusalem is about 1 hour away from Tel Aviv, about 45 minutes away from other beaches, and there are many sunny days in Israel. So if you're asking, well, is it possible to go and be on the beach on a weekend? The answer is in Israel, yes, of course, you can do it 3 times and still have time to study on a single weekend. So a lot of options. Okay, a little bit about the faculty, not the university. Jane spoke extensively about the university. I want to focus on the faculty of law. It is considered the best law faculty in Israel. According to the most recent rankings, we were ranked 30th on Shanghai and 37th on the Times Higher Education ranking. So you are joining a premier institution. We go out of our way to help you. Obviously, the 2 programs we gathered to talk about are in international law and human rights. It's a student-centered approach. The faculty of law is vibrant. There are courses, all courses that you will be taking are taught in English. There's a nice variety of courses in English. Of course, you will interact with all the other students, so you'll be part of the life of the faculty, and we have a very vibrant and vivacious environment. And we have a strong international student body. All that said, what I really like about the program is that it is rather small. It is quite intimate. Over the last few years since I joined, the number was between 10 and 20, so you're not lost. You have an opportunity to make good friends with people in the program, with people outside of the program. We are not dealing with a mass program, and I think it's a big advantage. So you're coming for something quite special. Great. So here is the big fork in the road. We have 2 programs. One for students who already have a law degree, and one for students who do not have a law degree. The LLM program is for students who have a prior law degree. It can be an LLB, as it is called in some countries. It can be a BA. It can be a JD, as it is called in the United States. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it's not about names. It's about having a law degree, okay? And that's the first program. The second program is for people who have 0 background in law, and that's fine too. It's not a problem. It's a master's program, but really the main difference in terms of the outcome is whether you get an LLM degree, which is like a a degree that builds on your LLB degree or an MA degree, which also gives you a lot of options and opportunities. So as you can see, it's a one-year program, advanced course of study for students with legal background. As for the admission requirements, they're quite simple. We require a GPA of 85. Now, I know you come from many wonderful institutions. We have a conversion system, and I have to say that it's not a mechanical admission system. We review your application, so if you're off by a few points, not by very many points, I should say, but by a few points, do not be discouraged. Please apply, and we can make exceptions, and we do make exceptions. So again, do apply, don't be discouraged. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? Worst thing that can happen is that we'll tell you that sadly and unfortunately, you're not eligible to join. But as I said, do not give up so easily. The tuition fee is $60,000 US. Scholarships are available up to $4,000. I should say that. There is an LLM thesis track, and that's important. It's important for students who wants to pursue a doctorate degree. Those of you who are interested in becoming doctors in the study of law, you need to take the thesis track, and that involves writing a thesis on top of all the other requirements. And in terms of meeting our students, you can see the quote on the right-hand side, but hey, I mean, why focus on quotes when we have, we're privileged to have, I should say, and delighted to have a real alumni who will speak to you, okay? So that's coming. We're moving to the second option, the MA. And again, it's a master's degree. You're getting a master's degree. It's just called an MA. In law with specialization in human rights and transitional justice. Again, it's a one-year program. The main difference is that here you have to take some I would say in law, just to make sure you have a background to continue with this program. It's not on international law, but as you can see, thereafter, the curriculum includes developmental workshops and seminars, courses on international law and human rights from a comparative perspective. The admission requirements are quite similar, but again, this time, of course, it's not a law degree, it's a degree in some other discipline, and that's fantastic. That's great. And by the way, the breakdown, Shanique can correct me, is about 50-50. I mean, we draw students from all backgrounds. It's not that we only have law students. It's not that we only have students who did not study law. We have both. Here too, there's a thesis track opportunity. As I told you, the opportunities are very much the same. The tuition, the same, $16,000. Scholarships available. And now let's see if you are listening to me. What's the maximum scholarship that you can get? Can someone answer this question based on what I said before? And given that I said that everything is being kept equal. So the answer is $4,000, okay? Based on need and availability and whatnot. So this is very important. The course catalog can be found here. So you have a link to the course catalog. You can look at the courses. And there's a special catalog for you of courses in English, 56 courses, including 25 condensed courses taught by international visiting faculty. Allow me to explain. We have the standard courses, but sometimes we have distinguished professors from all over the world who come to the Hebrew U, to the Faculty of Law to teach, but for condensed periods of 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You are perfectly entitled to take advantage of such courses. It's really nice. It's done in a condensed fashion, but it's cool because thereafter you're free. You've accumulated some credits, and you can continue. There are 20 lecture courses, 4 seminars, 2 workshops, and I already talked about the thesis track. Again, if you're interested in the thesis track, you need to find a supervisor we are good at that. We're helping you with it. I'm here to help. Shani is here to help. I have to say that we were successful, I think, without fail, right, Shani? I mean, not since I joined, in helping students finding supervisors. So it's not that you're out in the cold, not at all. Our internal faculty is quite engaged in the program. Where we have deans who are part of the international law faculty. So we're doing really well there. Excellent. So services, with your permission, and I will answer any question, but since Jane addressed almost everything that you can see on the slide, and really it's here we're talking about services that are being provided by the Central University. So there's nothing that's law school specific about the slide. So with your permission, since you saw it, I mean, if you want me to repeat what Jane said, I will do whatever you ask me to do, but I think we can move on. I think that, we have quite a few important support services. We have dorms, we have the psychological support services. The buddy system is a great feature. Learning Disability Center, very proud of that. Library access, we have an international office for law students, which is great. In health insurance, I must mention that in light of the health crisis that we have endured over the last couple of years. Co-curricular activities, there are social and cultural activities, weekend programs, field trips, sports centers, and we have the UG Innovate Center to the innovative minds here. So we have all of that. And just to feature some of the more well-known professors in our programs, we have Professor Malcolm Shaw from the UK, an expert on human rights and the law of territory. We have Professor Lee Epstein from the United States, WashU, who specializes in judicial behavior. And we have Professor Ruth Teitel from the New York Law School, who teaches a seminar or a colloquium on transitional justice. We roughly have about 30 visiting professors a year. And this slide is important. That's the application slide. You can apply, you can email us if you have questions, inquiries. Shani and I will do our best to respond to all of them. Instead of, in terms of the COVID situation, we are monitoring it closely. I'm supposed, by the way, to bring a group of students from the United States to Israel in March, and I'm planning to make it happen. So I'm talking about March in about less than a month. And you are looking at, let's say, I don't know, but based on the answers you gave to the poll, you're looking at the fall of 2020. So that means 6 more months. Guys, I'll be very honest. Nobody knows, in 6 months, things can be a lot better, or God forbid, they can be worse. I don't know. I'm not a prophet. I cannot foretell the future. What I can say is that right now, everything is open and you don't even need a green pass. So if you go to a restaurant or something, you don't need to present anything. I just came back from the United States. It's different there. You need to present a special permit to get into cafes, into restaurants. We no longer have that in Israel. So at this point, I will say thank you. Contact us. I'm Gideon. Shani is the brain behind the program. She's the quiet type, so she is hiding, but Shani is masterful, and together we'll try to help you with everything. So thank you very much for your attention. Now, allow me to turn it over to, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but as a Parchamovsky, I'm used to having my name mispronounced, so please don't take it personally. And I'm so grateful that you took the time to be with us. So a million thanks for that. Please.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me well? Oh, yes. Okay, perfect. I'm Yosina. I'm from Germany, and I was in the LLM program last year. Currently, I'm doing the thesis track, so I'm writing my thesis at the moment. So if anyone has questions about that, I can also answer questions regarding that. And I will just briefly share with you my experience about the program, but also about the student life and being an international student at Hebrew and living in Jerusalem. Like it has been said, it's a very small program, which is very nice because it's easy to make friends very fast. Even though I had most of my classes online in the beginning, it didn't take long to meet people and to get to know each other well. So I can imagine if the classes are all in person, the bond will be even stronger between the students. And most of the classes are with all the students from the programs, also, although there are some electives. So you also might encounter some students from other programs such as political science or history, but also Israeli law students that study Israeli law and take some international law courses. So it's very nice because you get to know a lot of people, but at the same time you also have your core group of people that are mostly there with you in all of your classes. But I liked very much classes were different sizes. Some of them were bigger, some of them were smaller, so they allowed for a lot of discussions, which are also encouraged by professors. So they give you a lot of space to discuss the material that is being taught, and sometimes also relevant when living in Jerusalem and studying international law. You might have a lot of questions, and they definitely give you the space to ask many questions, and also to go to send emails or to go to the professors after class and to discuss the material. So that's very nice. Student life is in Jerusalem is very diverse. It's the holy city, so there's a lot to see and learn culturally, historically, religious sites. You will meet people from all over the world. It's almost like a magnet. The other day, I just met a girl from my high school randomly in a cafe from Germany. So it's always a surprise. It never gets boring, and because it's such a small country, it's very easy to just hop on a train to travel to Tel Aviv, go to the beach if you need a change of scenery, or even to the north to Haifa for weekends. So that's all very much doable, also within your studies. So you can travel a lot while studying, which is great. It's very accessible, and always an adventure. And taking the public transportation here. Yeah, so, and also, and there are so many cultural events within the city, not only offered by the university, but also on Facebook, you can find anything you're interested in, historically, language-wise. There are many language exchange courses too, or you can find tandem partners. So if you want to learn Hebrew, it's very easy to find people that you might even want to teach your language. So it never gets boring. So I love studying here. It's a very rich and unique experience. And I've learned a lot. I've met a lot of great people. And I can really recommend it to you. It's a very unique experience being in Jerusalem, and especially studying international law. I did my bachelor's in international law and European law, so I really like the program here because it offered some different courses that were not offered back in the Netherlands where I studied before. So if you have any questions, just feel free to ask me.
Thank you so much. I mean, I think, guys, this is just amazing, because you just got a report from someone who's here and is part of the program. And I'm very grateful for that, because I could not have come close to explaining the experience in the same way that you did. So a million thanks for that. And now we're about to start phase 3. So guys, the floor is yours. Promises are promises, and promises should be kept. So please, any question you may have for all 3 of us is very, very welcome. Hi, no questions, guys. I mean, nothing at all. Shani, can people hear me?
Can I have a question?
Sure, sure, of course, please.
This is Kaneki from Japan. I'm interested in this course, and then I have a question. So, what kind of career opportunity after finishing MA in law course?
So thank you for your question, and it is really up to you. So you get your degree, and you can do with it whatever you like. You can, do law-related work. You can join an NGO. You can join a PhD program. You can. I don't know. It's a highly philosophical question, and but
for example, so recent years, recent graduate student who finish their master course, what kind of career experience some people try to pursue a different field? I have an interest in what kind of opportunity about the case of career.
So there are many things you can do, and we don't know exactly, what happened to everyone, and sometimes what happens in the near future. Sure.
Sorry to cut in. I'll share just some of the alums, what some of our alums gone into. So a lot of our MA students and LLM students go on to doctorate degrees. Whoever's done a thesis track, they go into doctorate degrees. We've had MA students go on to law school because they get very passionate about law from their MA program and they want to go on and be a lawyer. So they go to law school, whether it's in Israel or back home in their home country. We've had people go to work at the UN. We've had people go work at NGOs. We've had people go work at government offices. So it's a really big range of job opportunities. Some people stay in Israel, and a majority of the international students do end up going back to their home countries and pursuing one of those tracks.
That's great. That's exactly what I wanted to say.
Thank you very much.
Okay, if there's not any more questions, I can go in a little bit into the program requirements also. The program requirements is over 2 semesters, so it's a fall and a spring semester. And the way that the program is set up is that you have to complete 36 credits. And if you are doing the thesis track, you have to complete 32 credits. And it's a little bit of a flexible program in terms of we do have the required courses such as required background courses, a required seminar, a required workshop, and a specialized core courses. But you can choose your electives to make up the rest of the 36 credits. You can choose a second seminar to make up your program requirements. So even though it is a little bit of It's a little bit of a flexible program. It's a very intense program. Students are on campus at least 3 times a week. So if somebody is thinking about getting a full-time job, it's not compatible with a full-time job. We've had students who have had part-time jobs. And I would say it's very intense. I mean, Josina could probably also vouch for that it's very intense. You have 2 semesters and you have a lot of courses. And you're thrown right into law courses from the beginning. So the first semester, we do offer a lot of background courses about international law, about Israeli law, but it is a very intensive program. And of course, as Professor Parchamovsky mentioned, there's a thesis track, which you can apply to after the fall semester. You can either complete the thesis, you can complete your thesis by the end of the calendar year of the academic year that you study. So if you're interested in studying next year during the 2022-2023 academic year, you can submit your thesis by the end of the calendar year, which would be December 31st, 2023. Some students do that. There are also students who feel like they don't have enough time to properly work on their thesis, and they choose to take an additional year to register for the thesis track. Yes, which is what Josina is doing right now. Or you have an additional year where you can focus solely on your thesis. You're still registered as a student, so you also have all the library access, you have the health services, you have the Office of Student Life Services, you have all the great things that are added on as a student, but it's a year where you just work on your thesis. And you would receive your diploma 1 year later, with of course, with distinction that you completed the thesis track. So I don't know if Josina wants to speak a little bit about the thesis process and how it went with the supervisor, and you want to chime in about it?
Sure. So with the thesis track, you send in an extra application. It's not the same as program application. It's just a small one for your thesis, and you propose the subject that you're interested in, that you maybe came across during your courses, and you approach a professor that you might be interested in working with, and then either you finish, like Shani said, you finish within the end of the year, or you take some more time. I personally took some more time because I'm also taking language courses at the same time, and also I'm doing case law based research, so I have to read a lot of cases. So that's why I prefer taking more time. I'm doing research on citizenship and contested states and how it's perceived in domestic courts. So it's I'm very interested in that. I really like doing the research. It's a different experience than having to do courses every day. But for me, it's very nice because it's 2 years where you have very opposite experiences, but you can actually apply everything that you learned within one big project, which is very nice.
Yeah, so thesis track is also an option for an additional year, which many students take advantage of too. Thank you, Josina. And yeah, just like we said, 2 semesters, very intense program. But at the end, you have your MA or your LLM degree. A lot of graduate programs are spread out over 2 years or 3 years, and this one is a very, very intense 1-year program. A lot of students also really like this program because, as Christina said, it's a good mix in your classes. You have your core group of your international students, which is composed of the MA students, the LLM students, and students who are in our student exchange program. We have a student exchange program. And they're usually a core group of international students who have a WhatsApp group together, they have a Facebook group together, and they have a law student who is their madrich, who's kind of like their counselor, and she or he helps them along the way, along the year. But you're also in class with other Israeli students, other graduate Israeli students, and also students from Rothberg. So it is a very nice mix of students in your courses where you're not just with your little small program, but you're being exposed to Israelis, international students, MA students, LLM students, LLB students. It's a very good mix that students like. You're also eligible to register for courses in any other department or faculty that you're interested in. So for example, if you see an elective course in the Rothberg School or in international relations, political science that you think is relevant to your program, and you want to take it as an elective course, you could just come to me, you could come to Gidon, and 99% of the time it's approved as an elective course that you can take also in a different faculty. You also are eligible to participate in the Hebrew language course that takes place during the year. You don't get credit for it towards the program credits, but if anybody wants to come and enrich their Hebrew, the Hebrew U has a very good reputation for Hebrew language courses. They offer intensive summer and winter programs, as well as a program throughout the semesters, which meets 3 times a week. It's a very intensive program also, so keep in mind that we've had many students who want to come and join the Hebrew language courses throughout the year, and then it's just a little bit too intense for them, but it is an option, and it's free of charge for all our students who are interested in doing that. Okay, I'll open it up again to questions if anybody has any questions. I spoke a lot right now, but if anyone has any questions.
2 very quick additions. Hebrew is a slightly more useful language than Aramaic, for example. So I don't know if you want to study Hebrew. It's difficult, but please, if you decide to, I admire you. I just wanted to sound like a note of optimism. 2 things. So the program is intense, but please keep in mind that the schedule is very, very nice. So both semesters are about 13 to 14 weeks long, and there are breaks. You will be coming to Israel. We're big on holidays, so you'll have more holidays than you're probably used to in your home countries. That helps a lot. Right, Shani, we have a 2-week break during Passover, right? That's March, April. So it's a beautiful, beautiful period to travel, to explore, to hike. Probably the best. That's one thing. Another good thing, everyone in Israel speaks English. Not necessarily perfectly, but seriously, I was joking about Hebrew earlier, but English will get you everything and anything you want without any problems. Third point, the exams are very, very nicely spaced out. So again, I don't know much about your home countries, but in the United States, all exams take place within a period of 10 days. It's crazy. In Israel, the examination period is 5 weeks long. So you have some time to study. And it's much more relaxing than it is in some other countries. And then, of course, classes end, as I said, so 14 weeks and 14 weeks, where are the remaining 24 weeks? So you have the 5-week break in the middle. You have Passover, that's 2 more weeks. And then classes end in June. So you have July and August all for yourselves. And you can use this time both to travel, but also to work on your thesis, should you decide to do one. So please keep that in mind too, because Shani is 100% correct, but there is some extra time that you have in that year that we hope you will be spending with us. And that's to calm you down a little.
Yeah,
okay?
Sorry, I didn't mean to stress anybody out.
Okay.
There's definitely still time to explore, to travel, to do all the student life activities, to go to lectures, to go to events. We have our own, at the end of the year, we have like a prom for law students that a lot of our students like to go to, where they get all dressed up and it's like at a banquet hall.
I don't like proms. I like the marketplace. I like sandals. I don't like proms.
But yeah, it's intense. I mean, our law students are Israeli LLB students also work hard, but they know how to play and they know how to have fun. And if you're here for the year, also, you'll have time also to take advantage of all the things that Israel has and not just have your nose in a book all the time. That's for sure.
when should you contact us? When you have questions, anytime, really anytime. We're taking questions all the time. And what we forgot to mention is that applications are being processed on a rolling basis. So you have time to apply. You have time to apply. The thing is that if you apply late, and I just want to be 100% honest with you, is that sometimes we run out of scholarship money. So please keep that in mind, because we try to help people in the program. And, you know, if we help people early, sometimes there's just not enough money for people who apply very late. But there's no set deadline. We're very, very, very flexible. This is Israel.
Yeah, just another word about the application process, as Gideon said. It's a rolling application admissions, which means that applications are currently being accepted for the 2022-23 academic year. So you're welcome all to start applications at 8:01 when this virtual day is over. But it's rolling applications, meaning once you're done submitting all of your required materials, it can be reviewed it can be reviewed, and then within 2 to 3 weeks you receive a admissions decision. The documents that we require for the application is your transcripts from your first degree, your CV, 1 letter of recommendation, a health form, a statement of purpose, which is a short statement about why you want to join the program, why you think you would be a good fit, and if you didn't do your first degree in English proficiency tests, such as a TOEFL, an IELTS, or one of those tests. And once you're done submitting all of your applications, it's an easy online application where you can upload all your documents. We can evaluate it, and we do offer scholarships. The Faculty of Law offers scholarships up to $4,000. Again, it's a short application. You write an email. You send an email to me with a short document, 1 to 2 pages, explaining why you're requesting the scholarship and the amount requested. We evaluate the request both merit-based and financial need-based. So we look at both aspects, and whatever amount you receive is deducted from your program tuition. And as we said, program tuition is $16,000. The score required in the IELTS. I just saw that in the chat. The score is a 6.5 that we require. We require Amir, Amiram. If somebody here is Israeli and did an English psychometry test, we accept those as well. There's a whole range of tests that we accept. Okay, does anybody else have any questions that come to mind? Oh, also, all students have the option to live in the student village dorms. Those are guaranteed to all graduate students for anyone that's interested. They're about a 10-minute walk from campus. And a lot of our students really like the dorms because it's a modern dorm, it's easy, you're living with other international students, and it's close to campus. And close to the Huji Sports Center as well. It's about a 5-minute walk. So all dorms are guaranteed to graduate students. All right, I think if there's no more questions, we can start wrapping up. I see we have a few more minutes. Gideon, do you want to say anything else?
I just wanted to say thank you. And seriously now, you know, I like to joke a lot, but whatever you decide to do, whether you come or not, I personally would like to wish you the very best of luck with your future, with your pursuits. And it was exciting to meet you, and hopefully you will come, but even if not, best of luck, seriously.
Yeah.
That's it.
Me as well. It was nice meeting all of you, and I wrote my email down also in the chat. So if anybody thinks of something that they want to ask, if any kind of questions come to mind, you're always welcome to email me and also to call me. I'm in the office 5 days a week, Sunday through Thursday. Friday and Saturday, the university is not open. And it's +972 02 588 0044. You can email or call me, and I get back to you very quickly. Oh, also one more thing, we also have an orientation that we do for our international law students, which a lot of students also really like. It's 3 days before the start of the semester. This year we did it on Zoom because of COVID, but we usually have it on campus. And also we do icebreakers. We do the campus tour. We have one day where we go to the Israeli Supreme Court. Hopefully we'll be able to bring it back for the upcoming academic year and bring it back to be on in person and on campus. And it's just another way to bond our bond our law students, bond our international students, and people really enjoy that they have that opportunity.
That's great. And you have additional information in the chat. I noticed that Hilden just posted the phone number for WhatsApp questions. We in Israel, we use WhatsApp a lot. It's free of charge. It works well. So do use it. And thank you, Hilden, for helping us out. All right, so now I feel like in a sci-fi movie, like I see the clock ticking down. You have it all, you know, the digital countdown, and soon we will evaporate, or it's like a scene from The Matrix, but on a very, very, very low budget. So I suppose that the breakout rooms will get closed in, let's say, 1 minute and 36 seconds now. So since we don't want to finish this very nice session abruptly, I will close the room now, and we will all revert to the main meeting space with your permission. So again, thank you very, very much.
Bye, everyone.
Right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Goodbye.